Hi, I'm Dr. Alvin S. President and CEO and founder of P5 Designs, where we produce fashion for the entire family. I'm here with my business partner,
Coleman A, which is the CEO in training.
Great. So how's your training going so far?
I say it's going pretty good.
Okay, great. This is a fabulous time for me to have an opportunity to talk about P5 Designs, how we came about, what we've done so far, and where we're going. The amazing thing is I just became excited about bow ties maybe in 2008. I started wearing bow ties and I really thought, man, this is a real great fashion statement. I kept getting great comments of how I look, male, female, old, young, black, white, didn't matter. So I realized that it was probably a good business opportunity. So ultimately what I did was I put together and bought about 20 bow tie sets from China. And within about the first 30 days, I sold 7 of them. And I was like, unbelievable. It was just unbelievable to me what people were thinking about the brand. I gave away 6 units and I kept 7 units for me to wear for myself. And as I kept wearing my brand, I kept getting great comments about how well I looked, how well the brand looked. So I put up a 1-page website. Didn't have any inventory. And what I would do is I would see somebody on Facebook or social media with a bow tie on, and I would tell them, I would instruct them to go to my website and take a look. Now I was praying that they didn't have a want to buy anything because I didn't have any inventory. I really just wanted to kind of get a feel of what people thought about the brand. And probably after doing that about 6 months, someone hit me up on Facebook, asked me could I be on a phone call at 1 o'clock today. I said, sure, what's going on? He said, well listen, I work for Fort Valley State University. We have a new president and we have a bow tie initiative and we're sourcing a bow tie vendor. That was about May 2013. And we talked and did our thing and presented and sent product in, and ultimately we won the bid. So maybe about, I think about September of 13, I won the bid, and between September 13 and maybe March of 14, I custom designed 4 bow ties for Fort Valley, and over that period of time, they bought about 500 bow ties. So my very first customer, bought 500 bow ties from me. So I was like, man, this thing is for real, it's unbelievable. Subsequently, I used the money that I made from that very first order, and I bought my first, P5, at that time it was P5 neckwear. I bought my first P5 neckwear product. My fraternity, we had a conference that summer of 14. I went out, probably during that conference, I think I sold maybe 200 bow ties, and I was off and running. So, that's how we began. And ultimately, things have just been moving in a positive direction. We started out with bow ties, but as I did my research, I realized that neckties make up 70% of the marketplace, so I added neckties. I did further research and I realized that women make up 85% of the fashion industry. So I had to have a product for women, so that's when I added the infinity scarf. I had an older fraternity brother tell me that, hey man, those infinity scarves are, they're unisex. And I was like, unisex? Man, I'm from Brunswick, Georgia. I don't know what a unisex scarf. I'm a country boy from Brunswick, Georgia. I went to my first photo shoot, and the male model put the scarf on, and it was just phenomenal. It kind of opened my eyes to fashion, and it really gave me my first fashion lesson, and that was the fact that you create your own lines in terms of fashion. I mean, nobody does that for you. You're gonna go in the room and somebody's gonna say, man, you look great, or that outfit looks great, and somebody's gonna say, that looks crazy. But at the end of the day, both people are talking. And really, when we go back to the beginning of really expanding on the P5 brand, that happened because of my son. He's been with me wearing bow ties probably since he was 3.5. As a professional speaker, I would go around speaking and I would take Coleman with me, and I would just dress him like a little 3.5-year-old kid. And he would, sit out front. I put him in the front row where he could look at me, and he was very mannerable. Everybody was so impressed. And so I was trying to look at something that would differentiate me as a speaker. So what I did was I had my suit and bow ties, so I put Coleman on a suit and one of my bow ties. And that got a lot of play. Everybody was like, oh man, this kid looks great. He's got this big old bow tie on in this little frame. And so it got me to thinking, man, why don't I make a bow tie that really fits him and it be, a father-son duo, so I dressed us exactly alike. I put on a pinstripe suit with a gold bow tie, and I put him on a pinstripe suit with a gold bow tie. Tell me about what were you thinking kind of when you first started wearing bow ties? How did it make you feel?
I have to be honest. I hate to admit it, but I kind of didn't like it. But as I got older and started wearing it more, I liked it.
I wonder, did the fact that you began to make money, so I started paying you, did that help influence you wearing the bow tie, liking the bow tie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because one thing I'm gonna tell you about this young man right here, which is Coleman, is what I call my fallback 401k plan. One thing about him, he's about business. When we go somewhere, he wants to know about the money, what kind of money he's gonna make. And he and I, we started this business. I have a total of 3 children. The P5 stands for Perry, and the 5 stands for the 5 members of my family, my wife and my kids. And everyone in the family knows that Coleman is the heir apparent, to this business. When you look at the Empire TV show and the children are fighting, and they were fighting about who was going to take over the business, who's going to run the business. I don't have that problem with my family. Everybody knows that Coleman is the guy that I'm training to take over this business. Maybe about 6 months ago, Coleman and I was riding, and he said, Daddy, why'd you pick me? Why am I the person to take over the business? And I had to explain to him, I said, son, you and I, we started the business. I said, when I was speaking, it was you and I out there dressing up, doing our thing. And I said, do you remember when we have inventory that comes in, and I asked your sister, I asked your sister to come help count inventory, and she didn't want to come, and I said, Coleman, come help me count this inventory, what'd you do?
I did it.
You came to help me count inventory. You didn't, you didn't ask any questions. You came. You've been my #1 helper. So I was, so it wasn't really any problem with me being able to answer that question. Why him? Because he's been there working with me. He goes out with me. When I go on some sales calls, depending on, if he's out of school, I take him with me. So I involve him in the business. When I'm putting together an invoice for a customer, I'll have him come over to the computer. Hey, look at what I'm doing. Now I know he doesn't really understand it, but I know with repetition, as we keep doing and keep doing and keep doing, and as he gets older, a little more mature, he gets greater understanding. He's going to be able to really, begin to take over. Because I told him, I've been speaking to him probably since he was about 7 or 8 years old, that he's going to make $1 million by the time he's 18 years old. So at first he didn't really understand that, but now he's beginning to speak it himself. And it's amazing. One of the things, when I knew he was really getting mature, getting older, I'm gonna see if you remember this. We were getting ready to go out to an event, and you told me, you said, Daddy, and I normally pay you 15%.
I remember this.
It's our deal, I pay him 15%. And he's about 7 years old. He said, Daddy, if you don't pay me 30% today, I'm not going with you to this event. And you need me because I'm the cute guy. You remember that?
Yes.
And so the thing is, how many times do we not recognize our value? And how many times do we not ask for our value when we recognize our value? So I'm teaching my son that, to recognize his value and to ask for his value when he sees that. So we were out at another event, probably this last November, and we were working a little crowd, and he had his backpack, and he had bow ties and all that kind of stuff, and we sold a few bow ties, and I said, hey, I pulled my phone up, got a calculator, and I said, hey son, here's your 15% on what we're doing right now. He said, Daddy, I realize this is a 2-man job, and you need to pay me 30%. So I need you to go in that calculator and refigure the number, and figure the number at 30%, because you're not paying me enough. I didn't say a thing. I went, I recalculated, showed you 30%, right? Mm-hmm. So one thing, I treat him fairly. It's a training environment, and we're just doing this as a family thing, and I love what I'm doing, and we're expanding. And we initially started with P5 neckwear because we just had bow ties, but as we begin to expand the brand to bow ties, to neckties, to infinity scarves, blazers, we do school uniforms. So as we began to expand the brand, I realized I needed to change the name of the company to something that would be more inclusive of an umbrella because, and that was P5 Designs. We changed the name to P5 Designs. And with P5 Designs, we can almost do anything in terms of fashion brands and things that we can add to expand the brand. Now we're going to take a bow tie and we're going to use the part of the thigh that's closest to the knee that resemble the neck. We're going to come through the bottom. We're going to make this side a little longer than the other side and come across just like you do when you tie your shoes. Now, we're going to make that bow just like we did when we tied our shoes. We come across the top and we're going to bring the rabbit ears through the hole. Now we just clean it up. And this is how you tie a bow tie. Tell me, what does this experience, you know, growing up in this business, what does P5 Designs mean to you?
I guess it means my future because all the things that are coming from this business go to me and him. And me and him are doing most of the work here because we're probably the only ones part of the business. And he asked me this morning, he said, I'm thinking about hiring a person. Why only one person? Tell me what you said.
You know, this morning we were talking about employees, and I was, you know, telling Coleman that my goal for this year is that I want us to be successful enough that we hire one additional employee, at least one. And his response back to me was, "Why we not hiring 10?" And you know, I was like, "Well, son, I hope we have enough business that we need 10 people." But what that further shows me that he's not thinking with the mind of an adult, that we've had all our experiences and our exposures and we try to keep things closed. He's thinking with someone who doesn't have those life experiences and exposures. He's just thinking out of the box, big, you know, why we can't hire 10? You know, so those are things that I enjoy, you know, working with him and having him around because he brings a freshness to the business, a youthfulness, and he's definitely hungry. You know, tell me, I guess, what is for you, what has been the thing that has just popped out of you the most about this whole experience that we've been doing with P5? What is the one thing you said that really just excited you or just had you thinking differently or something?
Well, I've already said it, so let's see. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, so.
Other than the money?
Yeah, other than the money.
'Cause I know you love the money.
Well, it gives me more time to hang out with you, so I guess that's the main part about it.
Yeah, I mean, we love hanging out. We do a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm a fun dad. I'm a disciplinarian. You know, I definitely want him to understand the things about right and wrong. But my kids, none of them really give me any problems. Especially, you know, they just don't give me any problems. And we do a lot of stuff together. And I told him he's in 4th grade, and we're going to start this summer doing some conferences and different things. That he'll have an opportunity because he's a little older now. I can bring him and spend a day with me, and we're going to do different things as we try to expand the brand and you know, take this thing to a whole nother level. Because he put some pressure on me this morning. I told him he was going to be a millionaire by the time he's 18. He told me this morning he's going to make his first million. He want to make it at 15. So he's 10. So I got 5 more years. I got to figure this thing out so I can put him in the right situation. Because the funny thing is, he told me one time, he said, if he had $500,000, he's gonna give me $500. I said, man, you got $500,000, and the only thing you're gonna give me is $500. And what did you say? Why did you say you're gonna give me that?
Because when you make like $100, you only give me like $2 out of $5 out of the whole deal.
Come on, you sure about that?
Yes.
Then I just bring you $50.
That was a check. That was something else.
I'm still $50 though.
Still $50. That was only $50, but the time before he get like $100 and he'd only give me like $5 of it.
Well, when I think about P5 Designs and where I believe we're going, I have already exceeded the expectations of this brand, what I thought we were going to do. I started out with just bow ties, and we've expanded to bow ties, the ties, the scarves. We're doing blazers. We're doing school uniforms. Sometime the latter half of the year, we're going to start doing custom suits and custom shirts. So to be honest, I really don't know where we're going with this brand because we just have an open-mindedness of thinking about what we want to do. And when you look at the P5 logo, the PV, and the P5, which is Roman numeral 5, we can actually take that brand, that logo, and we can put it on anything. So I've even thought about doing a beard cream, a beard solution, you know, as I've been wearing my beard. It just, I think where we want to go is going to be places that we haven't seen, haven't thought about. I believe that I think I want to have like one store, one retail location where in that store you can just do anything, anything P5. One of the other things, one of our major brands we have is called Bow Tied Up, where we do custom products for elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, college, universities, nonprofit, and for-profit businesses. So we'll take your color, your logo, and we'll put that on the product. We also can put that on the P5 blazer. We have about maybe 15 different colors of blazers that we can do. We can put your organization, school, company logo on the blazer. So the biggest thing I want to say, where we're going with P5 in 5 years, my son has always said he wants 10 employees. So I mean, we've got to be generating enough business that we got to be able to hire 10 people. And we go from being a home-based business to we have some office/retail location that we're working out of. We want to be in New York during Fashion Week. I mean, we want to be, and I want us to be a big enough brand that we're in Paris, you know, doing the fashion, you know, taking the P5 brand. And you know, one of the things that I began to do last year is design products that include our logo. There are some major brands, Louis Vuitton, Coach. You know, when they make their products, you know it's their products because their logo's on the product. So as of last year going forward, when we make P5 Designs products, whether it's P5 bow ties or P5 neckwear, or whether it's P5 uniforms, or whether it's P5 blazers, anything that we do that's specific to the P5 brand, we're going to have our logo on there some way. Because at the end of the day, we want you to know, we want our customers and future customers to know that when people are wearing those products, they're wearing P5. If you want to buy yourself some P5 products, you go to letter P for Perry, the number 5, designs with an S.com, P5designs.com. We're on Facebook, P5, the number 5 designs. We're on Instagram, P, the number 5 designs, and we're on Twitter, P, you spell out 5, P-F-I-V-E design. So you can reach us on social media, you can reach the website, P5designs.com. I answer all my emails, I answer all my calls. If you want to call and talk to me about the brand, feel free to reach out, 678-634-4752. I know in this whole thing of social media and having access, it's really made it easier for the little guy to get engaged and say and communicate. So we want to make sure that we do our part. What about you? Do you have any parting comments that you'd like to share?
Not really. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything.
You want to do the P5 sound?
Just so you know, I invented this.
Oh yeah, so this is, many people think this stands for peace. This actually stands for P5. So we were actually doing a photo shoot and my son was doing his thing and he threw up the little peace sign. I was like, oh wow. I said, man, that's really our Roman numeral 5. So, you know, everything, everybody kind of does with this symbol thing now. So whenever you see doing this, understand that doesn't stand for peace, that stands for what?
P5.
P5.